So they cut it in half and then they flip it over.
Yeah.
So they cut, fillet it, flip it, and then sew it like that. You see it?
Yeah, I see that thing, dude.
You.
No, I'm saying there's no shows because the pandemic.
No, I get that, but there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Like again, I've thrived in the prosthetic world while other prosthetic, like I am the main marketer, face of the company for prosthetics. Like I'm the face of the company.
And he's just like that with a fucking fake leg. You better buy this shit. I'm gonna fuck you up.
But like I'm the face of it, and at the same time, it's like other places. It's because I'm not gonna stop. I'm not like, for me, I'm a natural marketer. I've promoted nightclubs and done all this stuff. I've sold drugs. Like, I've made people buy drugs they didn't even want no more. You know what I mean? Like, I've done. Like, nah, man. Hey, this
man.
This is a batch. Like,
pussy.
Like, I don't talk to quitters. Like, and so naturally doing this, like, it's crazy. But now I want to go back into comedy, and I'm going to. But I want to go back into it like I don't know nothing, and I actually want to learn. I wanna sit there and because again, I don't care about going on stage. Like, I used to rock nightclubs with 2,000 people in there. I did the Little Boosie and Webby. I did that on one leg in a wheelchair.
Did what? What'd you do?
I hosted his thing, his whole show. Like, before he came out, the opening acts and bringing
hopping around on one leg.
I was on a wheelchair, wheeling myself around on stage. What's up? What's up? Like, I was hyping them, and again, like, I was known for doing nightclubs, but when I lost my leg, they were like, man, hey, like, I was still in the clubs, like, with one leg. Yeah. I used to call it the stanky leg. When that was the most vulnerable time in my life, and they put me on the spot. But I again, as a comedian,
you rode with it.
As a comedian, like, I was on stage and they were like, hey, Mike, come here. And I'm talking about the clubs, it's about 1,200 people, and I'm on stage and they just dropped the do the stanky leg. And I was just like, bro, I was sweating because I was so embarrassed. Yeah. But it was just like,
that perfect opportunity.
You want the stack? Dude, I just started moving my nub, and man, the club went just, again, so naturally on stage, I'm not afraid to be on stage, but
it's a scary place to be.
Ooh. Man. Hey, the very first time I went on stage, I didn't have I took off my prosthetic leg, and I ate a bag of wieners. And let me tell you, I couldn't run off the stage because my friend came and took my crutches, because my whole set was on the stool. Yeah. And so my crutches are over there. My prosthetic leg is over there. And I'm trying to tell him, like, hey, bring my stuff. He's like, keep going. I'm like, so everybody,
that's a good friend.
Everybody was like, keep going. I was like, I'm done. Like, hey, get, and I got up and I was like trying to hop. But I had a good set. I had a good 3-minute set. But when I got up there, I didn't think that hopping so much would take out all my air. Then when I got, I was like, hey, guy, and I was just like, I was just sweating. I was just like, bro, no leg. Yeah. I couldn't even run if I wanted. Oh, man. Hey, I'll never forget that.
What? Okay, let's just back. I forgot about this. What happened with your probation when you didn't make it home and you lost your leg at 3 a.m?
Yeah. Oh, so what happened with that is that my probation officer came, and I had just put on probation, but so the monitor was the only thing that
was over there. The leg went home. Take the leg home, right? With the monitor.
The GPS monitor was the only reason why my leg didn't fully come off, because my ankle.
Oh, it was that leg?
Yeah, my ankle ripped all the way around, but it was just hanging by a piece of skin, and I think it was like a tendon or something. But the whole foot basically came off.
Detached.
Yeah. So I wasn't wearing no helmet. I slid 500 feet. My bike slid 1,000 feet. I mean, my whole
your
face.
Fucking head rolled off.
I think I don't know what side it is.
Yeah, you got a scar there.
My probation officer came and because of the monitor, and they were like, he couldn't identify me from the picture or my fingerprints because my hands were so swollen. Like, they couldn't do.
Oh, and you fucking road rash.
My face was done. Like, it was gone.
You're like Hellraiser.
Yeah, man, worse. So he was like, look, I can't even identify him, but if this monitor was on that ankle, then this is that guy. But I can't tell you. And so I was out of it for like 2 days. And then my wife, when I got up, my wife was like, I was handcuffed, and my wife was like, man, your probation officer came, but he said, like, the doctor's been telling him you're gonna die. Like, they didn't think I was gonna make it. So what he went to go do was tell the judge, hey, we need to take him off because basically he's gonna die. And that was the best decision they could have ever did. Because guess what? They let me off.
You didn't die?
I didn't die. They came over there. They took the handcuffs off. They left me alone. I didn't even get a DWI, and I had an 8-ball of coke in my pocket.
Wow.
They took it out of the.
They had it. When they did my blood level, I was 3 times over the limit, and I had like 2.5 grams of coke in my system.
And so they didn't think you were gonna make it. That's why they didn't charge you with anything.
They didn't charge that my probation. So my probation officer came early in the morning. Like I mean,
wow.
Before, he was one of the first people that went because of the monitor. They were like, hey, we got somebody in here with a GPS monitor, and they're like, we don't know who they. I didn't have an ID or nothing. So they
fucking rolling dirty in
man,
a motherfucker.
hey,
trying to fight him on the way in.
Hey, I'm telling you. So I woke up, man, and guess what? No paper, no nothing. And man,
really? So that negated all your lose one leg and it wipes your probation away, huh?
Everything.
So literally, guy was like, I gotta slow this guy down.
Yeah,
and you know what? That didn't even stop me.
Yeah.
I was still again. What stopped me was when I got stabbed. When I got stabbed, that was like the eye opener. A couple months later, I did that. So now I've been walking with God for 2 years, and again, I was like
hopping with God.
Hopping with God. I didn't believe in God before, but I.
You didn't believe in God?
No. I used to curse God. I used to tell him. I used to tell his mom, "Your mom wasn't a virgin." Like I'm serious. Like
talking shit about God's mom.
I know.
No,
right?
I'm serious. Like I used to provoke him because the stuff that I was going through. I was like, okay, if you're really real, then I'm gonna say it because you talk about my mama, we finna get that.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, your mom's man. I'm telling you, I used to be like, if you ever heard of Paul in the Bible? Paul.
Yeah.
Paul used to kill Christians, and I mean, again, I used to beat up Christians. Homeboys used to try to get off the ride. If you don't have that Bible with you in the day room, and and if I see you watching 12 Corazones or something, General Hospital, we're gonna drop you.
Yeah, because they're hanging out. Because dudes would hide behind that Bible, like, I'm a Christian.
If you're a Christian, we won't mess with you.
Be Christian all the way. Don't be jacking off on the guards and all this shit.
You better not have your towel up. Yeah. We better not find out you bought a kill shot. If there's
kill shot, a picture to jack off to.
Yeah, picture to jack off to. And again, I used to beat up Christians. I feel like I resent
fake ass being.
Yeah.
The prison fake Christians are a motherfucker though.
Man.
Yeah. Prison fake Christians are another level of hypocrisy that's really hard. That's why out here it's hard for me to see some people that claim to be this or that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, bro, I know who you are.
But let me. And so I tell people, because when I first got with God, I was trying to convert everybody because I had felt again. I don't even believe in sci-fi. I don't like Star Wars. I don't because I don't.
No, that's real, dude. Nah. Star Wars is real, bro.
Nah, because I don't like.
I've seen it.
I just don't. I can't picture that.
Yeah.
But so when it came to God, like I was like somebody that made the universe. Like you talk to me, like I was that person. But
sounds crazy.
I used to think that I was crazy, but man, the positions that I've been into, and you know what, I'm gonna say this right here because, bro, that thing right there, this past weekend I was in Houston. Remember I told you I was in Houston. I just got back. I posted it. I don't know if you've seen that. I posted a thing of my little. I built a little office inside my.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So my friend commented on there and was like, "Hey, hit me up." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I hit him up and he's like, "Why isn't Mike G Promotions or Mike G Comedy taking off?" And I said, "I like for one, I don't have the money to get all the stuff, and for two, I procrastinate like a mug." And he's like, "All right, well, what do you need?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been wanting to start a podcast and stuff, but you know, I'm limited. I've been wanting to do it on the phone, but I just you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't look right." So he said, "Man, you know what? Come up here. I got you." And I said, "Like, what do you mean? He said, "Come up here. I got you." So he said, "I got everything for a podcast." Man, I went up there and I'm looking at that. That's the one that I got.
Yeah.
That board right there. I don't know what it is, but it's
Roadcaster Pro.
Roadcaster. I don't even know how to use it, but my friend knows how to use it.
Yeah.
Bro, he gave me a $5,000 podcast studio. I'm talking
Setup?
mics, things. I mean JBL speakers, JBLs. I don't know what they're.
Yeah.
JBL speakers, those soundproof things.
Yeah.
I mean everything to do a podcast. He's like, here, there's no excuse for you, and I better see you in a year do something.
Yeah.
And I said, man,
You got a year, so you got about 11 months to think about it.
No.
You procrastinate like a
No,
month.
so
So you're gonna turn that room that you posted into a podcast room?
no, that's actually my closet. So I have
I'm putting shoes in there.
That's my prayer closet. That's in the morning when I get up. I spend time with God. Again, I don't push God on anybody like I used to. I used to be like, yo, man.
Obnoxious.
Man, no, not obnoxious.
You were obnoxious, bro. I'm not. It wasn't a question. It was a statement, bro.
The same way I used to push coke in your nose.
Yeah.
And I used to push
Put
you
some
to-
religion. Put
Club-
religion like
club
that.
promoter
I,
stuff.
yeah, you know what I mean? I used to make you leave your kids because
Yeah.
we needed to go do it. I wanted you to get the same thing that I felt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And at the end, I saw that I was doing more damage than I was good. And so I backed off, and when God humbles you all the way.
Yeah.
So now what I just live my life, but man, my life has been like, bro, I'm a convicted felon, and I work for a prosthetic company in a corporation world. Like, I work with doctors. Doctors call me and say, "Hey, Mike, I got this patient. What do you think?" What?
I'll fight him.
I'm a
What is it? Quota check?
Yeah,
Quota check?
I'll give him a
I'm
quota
gonna bring
check.
2 or 3 homeboys, or what's up?
Like I come from.
All with no legs.
Yeah.
No.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
Did y'all ever see that? Did you see that skit that I did? It was called the no walking zone.
Yeah. No. Wait, I saw the one where the
Is it on
the
YouTube or
homeboys
Facebook?
were.
No, you know what? I don't. No, that account got deleted.
Uh-huh.
But I know it's somewhere on Facebook. It went viral because that was the whole when 6ix9ine was coming down. The order horns told him, like, if you come over here.
They
So
were
what
gonna
I
jump him.
did, I got a whole bunch of my friends that had one leg.
Yeah, I
and
saw
was
that.
Like, yo, San Antonio is a no walking zone. Like,
Yeah.
if we see you walking,
Yeah.
we're gonna jump you. And then my friend jumped in and was like, we will cut off our disability checks for this. Like, it was crazy.
They were all out there with nubs.
Yeah, it was. We were all wheelchairs, crutches, and stuff, and yeah, it went viral. I was like,
Takashi was scared to come down, dude.
After that.
nah, he came. He still came.
He still came,
Yeah.
right?
He still came. But like, for me to be in the position that I'm in, it's not me. Like, bro, I did a show with you, bro. Like, you might not think that you're anything, or
My mom said I was
that,
like that.
but I'm saying, like, in bro, like, push.
Yeah, bro.
Like, you have it. Like, no,
Appreciate that, man.
I'm not here trying to gas you up. Like, bro, like, when I did a show with you, I was like, man, I got a show with Edward. Like, it's under my belt. Like, if I
Cool,
ate
man.
it, if I didn't, like, I had a show, and bro, I was on stage with you, Juan Villarreal, Schuler King, Polar Bear, One Bad Mike. Like, I shouldn't even be on shows.
One Bad Comic, Israel.
One Bad Comic, Israel. Like, I shouldn't be on shows with people like this. But guess what? I've been in a position to be there.
Yeah, man.
And man,
You got to embrace those. That's good that you realize that, because I know some people are just like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you ever have a phantom limb?
man, I still have it.
Like it
Oh,
itches
shit.
and stuff?
Yeah. So I had real bad athlete's feet, right? So when they cut,
They're like, we're going to cut this motherfucker off.
when they cut your leg, your
The
foot-
smell's still there?
Nah, not that.
You got athlete's nub now.
Yeah.
So now my foot itches. Like, I feel like, again,
Ooh.
you know what
Do
I mean?
you scratch your nub and it goes away?
No. So what you have to do is you have to squeeze. You have to squeeze your limb, your nub.
And look at it, right?
And look at it.
Well, yeah, no, you
Yeah.
do. Or
I heard you have to look at your dog.
or when so my ankle's here. So when it starts hurting, no bull. Start massaging down
Yep.
here.
Yep.
And when-
Mentally, it feels like it's going to...
mentally, it feels like you're doing it. Again, right now I'm moving my toes. I'm doing all of that. Like, I can,
Yeah.
I still have the nerves. They didn't take out the nerves. The nerves are still in the leg. So in the middle of the night, it's the freakiest when you're asleep and you feel like someone is pulling your leg or your ankle just starts going crazy.
Really?
Like, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. Like it is.
Does the cold weather affect it just like other injuries?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rain and all that?
For sure. So my leg remembers the amputation because my leg spazzes out, and that's what your leg does when they cut.
Like your nubble starts shaking?
Yeah,
I have a friend that has a
my limb. It does
Did you have any kind of a nerve, like spinal injury too,
No.
or none of that?
No head injuries. No, you can't tell me I'm alive because I'm the strongest person. And like, bro, I got drugged for 500 feet.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm not. Again, I'm here because God allowed me to be here. And all I can say is watch what happens from here on out. Like, bro, who gives somebody a $5,000 studio? Like, who? Nobody. Like, bro, I've been blessed. I've actually prayed. Like, I make good money. You know what I mean? But I'm like, man, I don't have good money to go and get a studio. And for me to be in positions that I'm in. Man, watch.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah.
You better do something with it. Don't just be talking all that shit. And
Hey,
you fight, and he hits one with the fucking with that the roadcaster. in the head.
What's the podcast name?
I got man, you know what? I got a couple different names. So I got 5 Toes Down, or I got On My Last Leg or Last Leg. I have
Ooh, I like On My Last Leg. That's a good one.
On My Last Leg.
Yeah, that is a pretty catchy one there.
You like that one?
Yeah.
I thought 5 Toes Down was a I don't know.
Oh no, you can't. It's already On My Last Leg's already a podcast.
No way.
Hey,
What's
there
the
you
other
go.
one called?
5 Toes Down.
Put it on my left leg.
5 Toes Down with like that or
5 feet
No,
apart.
5 with the number.
okay, 5
So
Toes Down.
yeah.
5-toe shoes. So do you
There's
save
a
money
10
on
toes
shoes?
down.
That.
Hey, do you save money on shoes? Do you?
No, I still got.
Does it still wear out the same?
Yeah, for sure. This one a little bit more because I put more pressure, I lean more on this side than this one. But these don't get as creased up as these do. So these look always new.
So is this thing light? Is this supposed to be like the same weight? Oh, this is heavy, dude.
Nah, guess how many pounds that is.
I'm gonna guess
This thing-
12 from here.
I'm gonna guess this thing. You're right about right, Josh, but I'm gonna guess about 18 pounds.
18.
Yeah.
And you said what?
12.
3.5 ounces. 3 pounds 5 ounces.
Bullshit, bro. I'm not.
Well,
that
you're
big.
also holding a shoe. 3 pounds 5. Oh, I haven't held
Dude,
it. So.
hold this motherfucker.
And that's
a
and
heavy 3
and that's why we don't give.
That's heavy.
That's
Nah,
that's
well, I
why.
don't know. I
That's
thought it was
why.
18 pounds. I don't know. Like I just felt heavy, dude.
That's why we don't give people the prosthetic leg. We put it on them first because if we give it to them,
They're gonna be it's heavy.
and oh man, how am I supposed to? Again, it happens.
How much does the average leg weigh?
3.5. It's probably about the same.
This is kind of all lightweight stuff because I'm a runner, but I also have this turns, so
Yeah.
it works as my ankle, but my ankle is now up here. So that motion to turn is up here, like the way your ankle turns.
shit.
Yeah. So all my stuff is titanium and aluminum. And
That's not all of them have that turning in.
No.
Yeah, makes it more expensive.
So
right there.
literally, you can just like go on that foot and then do a 360. If
no,
that doesn't. It
No,
stops. It doesn't turn all the way
It just works like your ankles to pivot.
around. Like, yeah, right.
Because I want to play basketball, so it has it too. Because when I was playing basketball before, when I would turn, my leg would just stay right there.
Yeah,
It wouldn't turn.
so, the average leg is 26 pounds. I guess if you cut off the quad, it'd probably be 13, right?
At the bottom, so they go a foot up.
What do you mean they go a foot up?
A foot up from your
Knee?
No, from your bottom of your foot to. So I still have half my calf.
I got you.
So they come up only a foot.
Wow, what do they do with your calf muscle? They cut your calf muscle in half?
They cut it in half. So they cut it in half and then they flip it over.
yeah.
So they cut, fillet it, flip it, and then sew it like that. So you see it?
Yeah, I see that thing, dude.
He's like, yeah, I see it.
He's fucking aiming it right at me, dude. That's fucking freaking me out, dude.
So
Dude, I wrecked my motorcycle too, and I blew out my knee. Like I tore my ACL, MCL, and crushed my meniscus.
dang.
I wrecked in the parking lot of Ojos Locos, dude.
Oh,
Fucking hitting it on my fucking crossbone, but I'd stage 2 it and all this shit. Caught some gravel and spun out, and my fucking knee just everything
Oh,
blew.
Man.
How
You had surgeries?
Yeah, I had the surgery.
So you
everything.
had insurance. So you
No, dude. I when I wrecked, I didn't have insurance. I had to go get CareLink.
That's what I got.
That's what I went to do. It
Shout
took
out
me.
to CareLink.
Yeah, so I burned them too.
I couldn't even pay them the
I know, I could-
$64.
Well, CareLink started fucking with me. They were playing I don't give a fuck link is what they were doing to me. I don't care link because it took me 6 months after because I wrecked and I didn't have insurance. And luckily I have a homeboy that works in the orthopedic business, and he called me one day and was because he was, man, what's up with your knee, dude? And, he was all, he's one of my good homeboys, and he's like, man, he was all concerned, man, your knee, anything with bones, he wants.
Yeah.
And then he goes, look, dude, I'm gonna get you a free MRI. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, just go to this place, just give them this name, and they're gonna run you through the machine. Don't say anything about anything else. Just give them the name, and they have you scheduled. So I'm over here from so and so's office. Boom, they ran me through the fucking machine, gave me an MRI. And he got the fucking results, and he told me, he goes, all right, bro, you tore your MCL, ACL, MCL, and crushed your meniscus. He said, you're never going to walk right again unless you get the surgery.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. So it took me about 6 months to get CareLink, and then the surgery got scheduled about 6 months after that. And
so how were you getting around what were you doing then? You were working at that time still?
I was doing comedy, and I was hustling. All I did was I wrapped my fucking knee with an ace bandage and limped around, and I got the wheelchair leg.
Bro, so many people come in and while we're on that, so many people come in and get their leg amputated because they do that. They put more pressure on there.
Yeah, I know, and it wears it, but I didn't have insurance. What was I gonna do? So I what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I wrapped it up, and I guess was limping around on it for a long time, and then I had the surgery, but the recovery still, it's been a motherfucker because I didn't I didn't have it right away. Like when you see these athletes that tear something and then they're right back 6 months later, like, wow, it's fucking amazing.
They have money.
They
to
had
do
the fucking surgery the day after they tore the motherfucker, and they were in incredible health when it happened. So I did mine, went a year, got the wheelchair skinny leg, and then they did some my rehab. But I'm playing handball again. Yeah, I'm playing handball without it. But I was riding I was on my Harley today, cruising around, and I was thinking, man, we're gonna do the podcast tonight with Mikey, and I was like, man, that motorcycle.
And you know what? It's not necessarily just like it's the people that don't realize that you're on a motorcycle. They don't look for the.
Oh, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care about that. And
old white ladies,
man,
don't give a fuck about you and your bike.
It's hard to see motorcycles when they're going over 100.
That is that is a yes.
That is correct. But still, regularly people don't look for bikes.
Yeah,
they don't. And not just that, but I don't throw out stuff out of my window no more. Man, I almost ate it on a Sprite bottle one time. Like it full of air. Someone threw it out the window. Here I am on the highway, and I mean, like, man, I'm talking about you got to pull over because you
shit your pants. Yeah, dude, I've ran up on a mattress in the highway. I went around it at the last second. Ran up on boards in the highway.
That's why you got to stay behind a car.
Yeah,
sometimes they'll
don't tailgate the motherfucker. Ran up on a grocery cart.
Man,
I made it around that.
I was what freaked me out with bikes was, first of all, 5 years old. They put me on the back of my aunt's boyfriend's bike, and I burned my leg on the muffler.
Oh, that's that round scar.
Yeah, that second time, I was like 10, 11 years old, going to go see my grandparents in Corpus. And right before you get onto the island, the big bridge that goes over, this motorcycle passes, boom, but on the shoulder. So it's not even on the road. And then you just hear you see down the road, boom, flies through the air. When we go through, I see a boot. I don't know if his leg was in it. But there's a boot. Scared the shit out of me. I was just like, I'm never gonna ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, they're scary because
not even dirt bikes.
Nah, no? I don't ride any.
And I used to never ride with a helmet.
I don't even got a bike.
And then just recently, I mean, not recently, when my best friend, one of my best friends died in a motorcycle wreck, dude. Oh, man. And I had wrecked my bike, fucked up my knee, and I was still riding. And then he wrecked his bike and he died. So I parked my bike
So that was it.
for like 3 months, and then I sold that motherfucker, and I was like, and I went about 3 years without riding, and then I got the itch, and I bought another Harley.
I
and-
try to ride, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Especially when you, well, for me, when the amputee,
Oh.
I try leaning on this side and my balance is
It's
just,
off?
It's off. Like, you know how you push
Mhm.
your foot on the pedal to kind of, it's not the same. I've turned and I'm like, well, that's it. I'm done. I ain't doing this.
So you tried it and that's on you're on the brake, right? No, you're on the gear right here.
No. So I'm on the brake.
You're on the brake right here, yeah.
So I still, my shifters, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm done.
Hey,
I ride dirt bikes though.
You reached out to that kid that blew his hand off with the firework. Man.
Yeah, actually, I can't say it a lot, but yeah, I did get in contact with him. I did see him. I saw him.
Oh, you did,
yeah,
man.
I saw him on Thursday.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
And so what was his? He blew his whole hand off, right?
Yeah.
Was that close to here?
It was in San Antonio.
No, but I meant like close to here.
That was on the
On the south side.
No,
Oh.
yeah, it was right here in the northeast side.
Yeah.
Some Walmart.
Yeah.
It was
And-
yeah, so him and some friends were kind of, again playing with some fireworks. I didn't ask him exactly what happened.
you didn't see the video?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. But seeing him, and I reached out because I seen people bashing him, and I was that person that, man. Again, when I tore my leg off and I got my leg amputated, walking into a room and knowing everybody knew that
This
you did that,
dumbass
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just standing there trying to gain your balance, and you're like, you have to get a sense of thick skin and just say,
You have to be mentally strong for that
like,
too.
hey, I did this. I did this to myself, and that's kind of what I just wanted to tell him was, bro, you did it, and guess what? It is what
It's
it
done.
is, and now is not the time to cry about it. Like, now is the time to figure out what your purpose is. Like, this,
How old
like,
is the kid?
18 years old.
He's 18.
Yeah, he's
Is
18.
he still in high school?
No,
He's out of high school, so he's in the work and gonna be having to work. And do
Actually,
shit, you
I
know?
mean, this kid, man, the way the news and everybody else portrays him to be, like, this kid wasn't that. This kid was a kid and made a bad decision.
he was a kid lighting a firework, bro.
Helps out.
That doesn't make him anything but
Well,
a
it's 'cause
kid
they were
lighting a
doing,
firework.
apparently they were doing donuts and stuff. And
Well, other people. It was a big race.
I mean, it was
racing
yeah,
thing.
car meet. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was a
mean?
bunch of
Yeah.
people fucking doing what kids do, and he lit a firework.
Man,
that
I
fucking
do
blew
stupid
his hand
stuff.
up.
I just did something stupid the other day that could have killed me. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we all do stupid stuff, and this kid, man, had scholarships to play baseball. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah, he's a good, like, man. Kid's tall, man. I mean, taller than me.
So,
I mean,
what was his injury?
Again, I can't say a lot because he's.
Well,
with-
what I
he's
saw
with-
on the news-
Yeah, he's with our prosthetic company, so I'm under like a HIPAA.
Okay,
law
well,
where-
let me just say what I saw on the news. I
Yeah.
think it. I mean, you could say, I don't know if you could say if I'm correct or elaborate, but what I saw on the news is he was holding that mortar, the one that you drop in the thing and it shoots up way in the sky and does the big old thing, and the fuse was only like that long. So he was holding it in one hand, trying to block the wind from the guy with the lighter, lighting it, and it went off. And from what I could gather from the video, this whole hand was gone, and this hand was missing some fingers.
No, so this his other hand is good. That one.
This whole hand is gone, right?
That one. This is the one they did amputate, but it wasn't gone.
Oh, it was just like shredded.
Yeah, it was just kind of shredded. But he made the decision to amputate. It wasn't nobody else. He was.
Oh,
like,
they could have maybe tried to save
yeah,
it.
they were trying to do, and he just said, I don't, just take it. Like, I'll get a prosthetic. I'll go that route. But again, man, this kid, used to help old ladies. Old ladies would call him to, he moves furniture for senior citizens, and that's the stuff that he does.
was it his throwing hand?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's his dominant hand. Yeah.
Well, have you seen that movie Kingpin
Yeah, with the bowling,
with
the
Woody
guy-
Harrelson?
Yeah.
So he still could.
Yeah, but
have a career.
but the way they have their hands now, man, they're a whole
not
lot
that-
better.
Yeah, now they're
Yeah,
just.
no,
not
that
the-
one's just like, it ain't.
Oh, that would
doing-
be crazy because you know how the runner that Olympics runner he had
Pistorius?
those
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
like
the
ski
blades.
looking things.
Yeah.
If you had like a ski looking thing and then he could throw
Oh.
like you know what I mean, like a
You
pitcher.
just slap the
Hey,
shit out of
what is-
people.
what is that game that they do?
Yeah,
Highlight.
What?
Highlight.
How the hell would you even know that?
He
Because I'm a
knows.
bad
He's
motherfucker.
random,
bro.
man.
how do you spell that? It's bad.
JAI ALAI.
Yep.
Wow.
No,
that's music.
No, it's music. I like there. No, it's right
There it
there.
is.
Yeah, this thing. Yeah, what if at the
What-
end?
Hey, come on, bro.
Hey,
It
that's actually a good that's a good thing.
You know what I mean? Is that legal? Can they do that? Because he would be able to throw it
Fuck
fast.
yeah.
Wow, like you know what I mean?
And then you could go
And
slap
he can-
the shit out of people afterwards too.
And he still has a catching catch that he's still gonna catch.
Yeah.
Like you would
Because
think
that
you
would be
could
the hard one. Because
you
you wouldn't be able
attach
to
a
close
glove. Like
no,
if,
but you couldn't close the
you
glove.
you couldn't close the glove.
But with a throwing hand, if you
hey,
put that's
that's actually
there you go. I got ideas too, man.
he'll
Look
kill
at it.
someone
He
with
would
that
kill
fucking
somebody
thing. Yeah.
If he wind it up like that.
yeah, and you hit someone that's running the bases, blank.
Man,
you're done.
you know what?
Shit.
That and his mom, like when I went to go talk to him, his mom was like, a year from now, I want him to be
Doing
we'll-
stuff.
We'll
and-
be at a park, and whether or not we're all gonna play a baseball game, like
Yeah.
the whole family, like we're gonna get in there.
This
Or-
dude's gonna
or
be
if
calling
not,
me. Watch during the week. This dude's gonna be calling me. Hey, what's that shit called?
Yeah.
But-
How you spell it?
Or if it's JAIALAI. But if baseball doesn't let him do it and they say it's illegal, maybe he likes this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things he could do still. You know, that sucks what he went through, and
But not just that. It's like I was like, okay, so before I got into this job, I was basically doing this. I was making fun of myself, making skits about me being an amputee and just making fun of it. And I was inspiring other people that were with disabilities. They're like, Mike, how can you take a picture of your leg like that on Facebook? Like I'm afraid to even show it to my wife, and I'm like, bro, like I'd rather laugh than to cry about it. And I said, I'm not gonna I'd rather make fun of myself before somebody else does it, because
the whole Eminem method,
the
huh?
whole Eminem method. I'm gonna make fun of myself before you can.
Damn, Eminem's
For-
such
for-
an inspiration, dude.
10 years, for 10 years, I'd always go on stage with a hat, and people thought it was because I was bald. But it's just because I got this big ass scar on my head, and I just started this year going out.
You
without
can't
a
even notice
hat.
it though.
On the right light,
Why-
it looks
why-
like I have a
wh-
divot in my head.
What happened?
When I was 4 years
Some
old,
dude hit him with a high alive
Yeah.
fucking thing.
when I was 4 years
Twisted
old,
tea.
for being racist, it was an oscillating fan at my grandmother's house, and I was 4 years old,
and
and
I
I
jumped into it.
and I pressed the button really hard, and it rocked back. It didn't have a cover. Remember, they're made out of
Yeah,
metal
yeah.
in the 80s. Boom! It hit me in the head and
No
sliced it open.
safety back then.
Sliced my here under my eye, like
Look at that shit. That one
And
right
then
there on Scarface.
flapped the my
No
skull.
How old were
way.
you? 4?
4 on my dad's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad. They said he was drunk and that he got a bat and went and beat up the fan.
No way. You stupid fan.
Right now he's got the fan. He's thanking
so-
him. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for getting him.
So let me ask y'all a question. So how long have y'all and I'm again for other people, my people, are we gonna post this on? Y'all have this like on what?
On YouTube,
Okay,
Facebook,
cool.
Instagram.
So I can share it. But so when y'all do comedy, and I need some pointers, because again, I'm going back into this as a student, because I don't want to use what I used to use before as
Because you changed your ways.
man, a lot. And you know what? The first time that I ever did a clean comedy was with the Rat Pack Boys.
Yeah.
And man,
The Loud Pack?
Rat Pack.
Oh, Rat Pack.
From Dallas. They're out of Dallas. The Rat, you never heard of them?
I don't know.
Rat Pack's a comedy?
I know the Vatos Chistosos.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
one.
right? That's Diego and them.
Oh no. This is they're out of Dallas. D. Ellis has been doing comedy, I think, for like 25 years or something like that.
Is that them? No, I don't think so.
Nah.
How many Rat Packs of comedy are in Dallas?
Nah, that just says Rat Pack.
Oh. Dallas, maybe you need to put Dallas, Texas. The Rat Pack is Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
and Frank Sinatra and all that.
Rat, let me see. I got him on. Oh, but no, so that was the first time that I ever did it, man. And I was scared because, man, they were going off like
Where did you perform at? over there?
Breathe Lounge.
At the Breathe Lounge here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was last minute because I forgot how they got my name, but somebody reached out to me and were like, "Hey, somebody canceled on the Rat Pack show. If you want to jump in," and I was like, well, who's on the thing? They're like, nah, it's their show. And
How much time before the show did they call you?
2 weeks.
That's enough time.
2 weeks, yeah. And
Because it was like the 2 days.
yeah, man. And at this time, I went on stage with nothing but sides. I had a little idea, and I was like, all right, I'm going to work it out on stage. And
Oh, you overmiked it.
man, and I killed it. Like, D. Ellis came up to me after that and was like, bro, put your number on my phone. I'm bringing you on my shows. Every time I come through here, Austin or whatever, like, I want you on my shows, bro. Like, you did good. Not only that, but I saved 2 people in the crowd on stage. They gave their life to Jesus Christ. No lie, man. During my show.
You brought them up on stage?
No, I just right there. They were in the crowd. Said, hey man, before I leave.
What,
man.
they messaged you later and said, hey, you changed my life?
They came up to me right there and they were like, man, hey, like, bro, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Cause
you inspired some people.
My whole thing was my before Christ. Like oh man, you should see me before Christ. Like, and I was just making fun of my leg. Like, oh, before, I used to go out and do all of this. I don't even remember what I said, to be honest, because I was just
freestyling.
You got to record your shit so you can go back and listen to it.
And you know what? I've recorded some stuff and I erased it because I don't even. To me, I feel like you shouldn't have even been up there, and you're lucky that you got by.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And right after that, D. Ellis, and again. That's kind of what made me kind of like, oh, okay. Like, D. Ellis, he's like, bro, I've been doing comedy 25 years. Like, bro, you got it. Like, keep working. And I'm like,
you already broke the fucking ice. You went out there and did that and got past the hardest, the mental fucking block. And where you fucked up is no. Where you fucked up is you did a good show once. And they're chasing that again.
Yeah, man. Chasing the dragon.
Yeah, you're chasing that dragon, bro. If you had never done a good show, you'd be like, I don't know what all the hype's about. But when you rock a fucking,
there's people who bomb and bomb.
Yeah, consistently bomb. They don't know what it's like to fucking you rock a fucking and you rock a big crowd. Man, you fucking can't wait to do that shit again, dude.
Also, once you get your like horrendous bomb, where you're either getting booed or they tell you to get off the stage.
You've had that.
Yeah.
No way. How do you get past you?
Dude. Oh, yeah. I've eaten shit, bro. Dude, and it feels horrible. It usually comes, like you said, when you're like feeling like you are at your best almost.
And is it the crowd or is it how you perform?
It's a little everything. But it's usually you, like.
He said, yeah.
Like me, I can say it was me because like I went in, like, for instance, the Funniest in South Texas competition.
Where your legs are shaking?
Oh, fuck yeah.
You were there?
No, he was telling me about it.
I've gone in, like, and I just kind of, I was doing whatever I was doing. I knew the competition was coming. I didn't write like a set. I said, I'm going to wing it. I got some basic ideas. And I went out there and ate a bag of dicks. And
you got what you put in.
Man, and that's exactly what I told myself. Because Cody was crying after that one.
Yeah.
At the LOL. And remember, because we went to Hooters.
I was told about that.
We went to Hooters before, and I got George all nervous.
This other comic was crying. Because he had done it so many years in a row, and he didn't advance. He's never advanced
past the first round.
Yeah.
And he got all upset, like, and I was like, he was crying, like. I was like, well, I got what I put into it. I know what I got. I got exactly what I deserved for fucking the work I put in. I'm real with myself. When I went to prison because I robbed a jewelry store, not because someone snitched on me. You know? Yeah. So, and then I look over at Cody, and Cody,
I'm a bad sport. As soon as I find out I'm not in, I don't shake hands. I don't say good sets, and I leave.
Oh yeah,
man. I'm a bad sport.
Usually, no. If I come off stage after I know it was a caca set,
I'll leave that.
I'm leaving. I'm not even. Yeah. I'm gone.
And that's that. And so, and again, I don't know this because again, I just, bro, hey, and you know what's so crazy is that again, I had a nice platform that I was doing my own shows. Like I was able to sell out 150 tickets, 200 tickets, like with my own people,
from your following.
From my following. And that was something that's
what JP Sears is doing right now.
But see, I didn't like that
JP
Sears?
Oh.
I didn't like it because for one, I was like, that's just your crowd. Like, of course, they're going to laugh at everything you say. Like, I wanted to get other crowds. And when I started doing other shows, I was like, okay, maybe there's something here.
That's what we did. We did that show, the first show we did at Las Chiladas.
Yeah.
and you brought a bunch of your people there.
Yeah.
And that was a fucking rock. Were you on that show?
No.
That was a good fucking
You want to
show.
have good show? You should do it where
You brought a bunch of rowdies, dude, and
Yeah.
everyone fucking loved it, dude.
They're my crowd's drinkers.
Chingo Bling used to do it where he would host. So he'd go up and he'd do like 10 minutes and then he'd
Bring up the
comic and then
comedians. Yeah.
he'd do another like 5 minutes in comic, another 5, and now he's like headlining. He's going at the very end doing an hour.
Man, I've gotten calls from Jerry Garcia. They're his people with One Bad Mike. They've all put in like Raymond Orta. Like I've actually been in contact with. We were supposed to. Well, we were supposed because you know how he went. You know he's
following Christ.
He's following Christ too. So
I thought he was following Trump.
this guy.
That's what he said. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong.
It's like in prison. I don't talk politics and all that.
Well, you just talked religion.
Well, religion, yeah, because I fight for Jesus.
Fight for all kinds of bullshit.
but so he wants to put a clean kind of tour going around. So I got brought into that subject. So like, bro, I don't know why God has put me in a position to be in a position to where I'm at, to where like anything that I've ever really wanted to do, I can do it. And
you never really wanted to pay that child support.
Never wanted to pay that child support.
Can't pay that motherfucker.
No, I pay.
Your girl's gonna be. I hope he really wants to pay that child support.
Hey,
since God's gonna look
and
it
you
up
know
for-
what's so crazy is when they gave me my leg, one of my kids' moms and we had just a falling out like a little bit before this, but she had called the news and was like, "Such a great man that you gave a leg to. He owes child support."
Oh, she fucking backtracked
she was
on your
like,
ass?
she's like, "Why don't you give that money to child support instead of giving him a leg and let him hop around?" Like I was like, man, I was like, hey,
fuck.
hey, and again, I'm blessed to be in a position I'm at, man, and people hate it, and you know what? Hey, it's like I said, I can't take credit for it. It's God, man.
Damn, dude, that's a fucking hater move, though,
Hey,
dude.
bro,
Rowdy, dude.
they
Take his fucking leg.
They showed me the email and they were like, "Look,
Who's they?
The news lady,
the producer."
because the producers were like, "Hey, like, we just want to give you a heads up. Like, we love what you're doing. Your past is not why you're on the show. You're on the news because of what you did, and we don't care about that. Like, we're still gonna run 3 more stories on you." And I'm like, man,
Because it's all about your felonies.
and I was like, man, and I didn't want my name to be attached with Brian in the very beginning because I was like, I'm a convicted felon. They're gonna
Brian, the little boy?
the little boy, yeah. I was like, you're gonna
taint his reputation.
Like, man, I was bad. Like,
Yeah.
And did that ever become a factor with these people when they came to recruit you to work for them? Like you said 6 people came out. Some of them had to go, "Ooh, wait.
Before it got there, I was just doing like the sit down meetings and the company that I chose, man, they were like, "Hey, look, meet us at Papa Do's. We'll sit down for dinner and we'll talk over." And again, I was like, "All right, cool." So I went over there. They kind of just asked me about my life, what I plan on doing.
And you told them everything about what happened.
No. I was like, no. They were like,
we're gonna give you the cliff notes.
They were like, one of the guys that was there with us, he was like, he's like, "So what do you think?" He told the boss, the owner, and the owner was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I kind of like him. He's kind of whatever." And he's like, "Well, do the drug test." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And so he had reached down and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's like, can you take a drug test?" And I was like,
"Shit, I can take any kind of test. It doesn't mean I'm gonna pass."
In my head, I was like, "Oh man," like, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm just playing." So after that, I was kind of like, "All right, well, this is not that bad." So after I left, I was like, "Man, you're stupid. You should have told him. Like, you should have told him about the felonies." And then he called me. He called me later on. He said, "Hey man, I sent you a proposal to your email." Like, it wasn't like, "Hey, this," like, it was like, "Hey, the proposal's in the email." And I was like, so I got it and I was like, man, I ain't never made this money in my life, man.
If you don't mind me asking, what they offer you first? The first company, like, did you get 6 offers? 6 different offers?
I got 2 offers. I had got 2. I got 6 interviews, 6 people. That
Different
were like,
companies.
Yeah. Hey.
There's that many prosthetic companies around town?
One was from Houston. One was from Florida. And
Would
then,
you have to relocate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to relocate. So I was like, man. So I was just, man. Again, I had so many. The news just kept sending me, hey, another prosthetic company hit you up. Another person.
Oh, they were contacting the news trying to get your information.
So the news was So the news was the one that set up
The go-between.
Yeah, the go between, and finally the news was like, man, we're getting like too much here. Like we're gonna send them to all your email. So I'm like, bet. Man, I was just for days just calling them, and man, it's again. I go back to where I didn't even have money to get a prosthetic leg, and now I work for a company that I can get any prosthetic leg. I can get any foot, anything.
Because he's the spokesperson.
I'm the
So like when new stuff comes out, do you they go in there?
It's a brand new. The company came in there and they were like, "Hey, this is their latest and greatest foot that they just got." They're like, "Hey, what size you were?" I told them. They said, "I'm gonna send you a foot." I'm like, "How long can I have it?" I like, "What's the trial?"
It's yours.
He's like, "It's yours till you die." And I'm like, "He's like, just do me a favor, do a video, tell me how it feels, and it's yours." And I'm like, "Bet." Man, I got so many vendors coming in. Hey, man, we got this new stuff and they're like, "You want to try it?" Bet, let's do it. Like,
you should have bought a motorcycle a long time ago.
Man, and
could have saved yourself a lot. Not going to prison, nothing.
Man, and again, I go back to the beginning of it. I believe, again, that everything happens for a reason. I believe I didn't find God in prison when I was trying. I was trying to become a Catholic. I was trying to learn but I just didn't know between all the Hail Marys and all that. Like, when do I actually pray to you and tell you what's going on in my life? Like, and no one ever broke down God to me. And once I started, like, trying to find God, man, I'm telling you, man, doors have opened for me. Again, I make the most money I've ever made in my life legally.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing to do, huh? After being a thug and just hustling your whole fucking life.
My whole life.
I know what you mean, yeah.
My whole, like, I go in front of doctors and I talk to doctors and they ask me for their opinion. Like, it's crazy. And again,
he's like, I like the sativa myself.
I'm just like, again, it's crazy. I try. So my district is Houston, Austin, San Antonio.
Is that what you were in Houston for this weekend?
Yeah.
For that?
Well, no, I went for the podcast stuff, but I work in Houston as well. The company that I work for got offices in Houston, Austin.
Is it a 9 to 5 gig?
Well, I get salary, but yeah, it's 9 to 5, so it's not like, hey, you got to be here at this time. But if a doctor calls me and says, hey, I'm about to amputate this patient, come and talk to them, let them know what it is about being an amputee.
Oh, that's what you're the consult.
Yeah,
huh?
so I'm the consult. So the first person they see is me.
Yeah.
And
it's a dude that he's fought. They're like, this motherfucker here.
Yeah.
Why did you bring the other guys?
He's got his crutch.
Check.
He got his crutch. But I mean, that's what I do. The craziest thing for me that I've done there is I convinced a guy to cut his leg off. I was like, they were like, man, if he doesn't cut his leg off, he's gonna die. Like, we've been telling him for 3 years, it's done. He doesn't think that he could be the same. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me try. And bro, the doctor,
you went and told him it wasn't so bad. Huh?
Yeah, and he was like, all right, man, like, all right, tell that doctor he can cut me. And,
you need to do is hire you a badass fucking model, fucking stunt girlfriend that you go in there and be like, shit, look at my chick. Bro.
Look what I'm doing.
That shit. She's just stroking your nub.
Look what I'm doing.
Like, she'd be like, shit, cut that motherfucker off now. Right?
But and you know what? That's the curse of having cutting off your leg is that
you get all the hot chicks.
No, I wish. I wish, but. To me, somebody tells me about, hey man, my foot's hurt. Cut it off, man. To me, cutting it off was the best decision I ever made because of again, I've gotten further in my life with 1 foot than I ever have with 2, and that to me that blows my mind.
Yeah,
and not only did me cutting my foot, but it made me stop drinking because I couldn't be drunk. Like, I was already off balance. I can't drink and do this.
So you don't drink no more?
I don't drink no
at all. Zero.
Been 2 years. 2 years.
I don't drink in January. That's why
I don't drink at all. Yeah. But I stopped going to places like, for me, I'm like, man, I'm not going to go to this place and do this. Like, remember I was on crutches for 18 months. Like it was like, do I really want to go around there with crutches? Like so, it got me away from things that
The bars and the bullshit. Because you're gonna get fucked up. The dude stabbing you in the head on crutches. This motherfucker
on crutches. Yeah. So I mean, I tell people like, you never know what you cut off, and I use this for everything. You never know that little thing that you've been wanting to cut off or you've been wanting to try. Just do it and see what the changes that come with it. Because I didn't think that.
Become a woman, Edward.
You're gonna come talk to me about what it's like.
You've been telling me for years. Just do it, Edward.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
But no, I'm actually, man. This year, I'm excited to get back into comedy. I'm excited to be a student. Like, man, and I've had comedians that I actually look up to that actually are like. And I know a lot of them want to use me for my fan base, and I get hit up so like I don't know who said, "Hey man, this guy brings people."
I just want all the people that you fought with to watch. That should get enough views right there, dude.
Man, hey, for real.
Then we could just get those people
Man.
to fucking subscribe. We'll be fucking on it.
Man, for real. And I've had comedians that again I look up to. I won't say no names, but.
Go ahead, bro. Say it, dude. We're humbled.
I'm like, man, you like, I would think that you, and they're like, man, like, hey, just come on. And they always like, hey, can I give you 100 tickets and you sell them? And I'm like,
Yeah, it's not the.
but yeah, so.
Because you can be hilarious, but nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, bro. I didn't realize that there's actually good people out there that just don't have a damn following. And I'm like,
Yep.
that blows my mind.
There's hidden gems all over the place, bro. There's hidden gems all
For
over
every
the place.
story, they're like, just keep doing it. There's so many. Look at this famous person. There's so many really, like, I would say great comedians that just don't make it.
Well, look at Last Comic Standing. You know, a lot of time when Felipe won, just how many people said he was an overnight sensation. But he'd been doing comedy 16 years or something like that when he won.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that overnight
And it's
sensation only
hard.
took 20 years to do.
Yeah.
And so do y'all have like okay, so writing comedy, do y'all have like what you're known for? Is it like a premise, like I'm known for I talk about this all the time, or do you
Kind of.
Switch it up. You got to switch it up.
Yeah, you got to switch it up, but you will get known because I get kind of known for as a guy that tells prison stories.
Yeah, because it's
And-
different.
And
Yeah.
the skater dude.
Yeah.
I hear that too because I talk about it, you know, but yeah, but you can get kind of caught in, the dude talks about his family a lot, or the dude that talks about
Yeah.
the role,
Or weed, he talks-
the military story. That's
Or,
the
or he
military
talks about
dude.
weed a lot, or he talks about
Yeah.
you can be put into those
those
categories, but I mean,
If you keep changing it, you really won't get put in.
Yeah.
The dude that he's funny, he does those weird whatever. You might be just be he does those quirky jokes, you know.
but there's usually a joke that stands out in people's mind, and it's like, oh, this joke.
That's
you
what
did.
he's known for. That's
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Where
Yeah.
you're gonna be, dude. You already know what you're gonna be known
Yeah.
for, bro.
But see,
Like,
that,
don't even worry about that.
I, and that's the thing that it's obvious, right? But I don't want that to be.
You don't want to be the fat comedian that's only out there
I'm
talking about
fat.
being fat.
I'm fat.
No, just give an example.
okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, like Fluffy just talking about being fat. I'm chubby. I'm not fluffy. I'm this.
Well,
or, you know, I'm not
there's-
fat. I'm fluffy.
I'd say use it because there's a guy who's famous right now. He has Tourette's. He got hit in the head, and now
the
he's
the skinny white guy.
yeah, he stutters, and then
Oh, yeah.
yeah. There's actually two of them
From
I
America's
think.
Got Talent.
and the other one like blinks
Yeah.
more, or no, blinks a lot.
Well, of course, self-deprecating humor is always once you make fun of your leg and
Yeah.
all that, it makes it okay for everyone to laugh
yeah,
at it.
Josh
'Cause
Blue
if-
has cerebral palsy. He
Yeah, if
talks
you
a lot
don't,
about
if you
that.
go out there and never mentioned your leg,
yeah.
people would be kind of like,
Well, actually, I don't know if you're wearing jeans. Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
they were. If you're kind of gimping around, you know,
No, I don't. I walk great.
Yeah.
I walk pretty good.
you can tell your skinny
Oh,
ankles.
man,
There's-
okay. I actually have a.
He got a
clip
shiny,
on
skinny
that goes
ankle.
over that. That's made like a calf and stuff.
Just wear boots, right?
It's a clip on. It's like a filter. It's like a
To
shit.
fill it out.
yeah. To make it look like it's your calf and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make them because I like the robot look, but when I wear pants, you can see like it's all like, man, what's wrong with his leg, man?
Yeah.
It looks all weird, but
He's got skinny ankles.
man,
But yeah, so I mean, if you don't address what you think is fucking people, what you would make fun of if you looked at you or whatever,
yeah,
that once you do that, it gives them permission to laugh at you, bro.
okay,
And you know, it makes it okay because like Bobby Henline, for example.
Yeah.
Bobby's burned. He was the one that got blown up in the Humvee in Iraq or
Those are
Afghanistan.
Wounded Warriors.
Yes,
I
yeah.
actually got last year I had an opportunity to do the Wounded Warriors because I work at SAMC and I met somebody who actually helps run that stuff, and they were like, "Man, you're an amputee." So I go there to.
They have a wounded knucklehead part of it.
Yeah, you're never gonna let that go. But they have a thing that's over there with amputees, and I go over there and talk to people as well.
Yeah, the Wounded Warriors. Yeah. Well, Bobby's a friend of mine, but Bobby, when he first walks out there on stage, he's burnt up. He's got no ears. Yeah. He's got no eyelids. He keeps a napkin in his hand because his eyes run, and and he's missing an arm.
Yeah, he's missing his left hand.
He's missing an arm like to right here. And you hear the silence. You actually hear the silence. Yeah. Because the air gets sucked out of the room.
Oh yeah.
It kind of goes.
Yeah. Like
what's he been? We had to do a show with it was me, him, Raul, and this other guy, Torino. And
Torino,
yeah, and it's the Air Force, and it's a banquet, right? And so they're like, all right, well, and then they go, well, the comics are gonna come in after we eat and the presentation, and then they give the mic to Torino, and he's like, all right, hey, we'll get the comics later. We're sorry for showing you Bobby. I know you guys are trying to eat your meatloaf right now. Oh. And nobody laughs except me. I'm in the back going, not because I thought it was hilarious, but because I thought, what the fuck? Yeah. Why would you say that? So they come up to us and they're like, listen, they don't want you doing the show if you're going to make and disparage Bobby. And Bobby's like, let me talk to him first. I'll go first. So Bobby goes and goes, I don't want any of y'all to feel bad for me. And he goes into his set and he does great. And then I think, Raul goes up next. And Raul's drunk as shit. And he's like, yeah, no, I was in the Army. I really fought, and it's all Air Force guys. Yeah. And he's like, you're not supposed to cuss. And he's like, so I'm out in this motherfucking. And I'm like, God dang. And then I go up there. I'm next, and I go up there, and I was like, anyway, if y'all could not put us in FEMA camps, I'd appreciate it. Like an idiot. And they're like, what the fuck? Oh, and then the last guy goes up, and then
Anthony Torino
goes up last, and then so at the end, they come back and pay us. They're like, yeah, we'll let you know next time. But the one that hired us was getting reamed, man.
For y'all shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did better than that. We got booked. Me, Juan Varial, Damon Edwards, and I don't know who. I think it was Jay LaFar. We got booked on base for to do comedy for the troops that were in boot camp.
Yeah,
and dude, they were all like 17, 18 years old. Dude. Juan, on the way driving in, Juan was telling my sister because she got it booked. She's an RN and she does a Humor for Heroes.
Yeah.
She was like, I pulled a lot of strings. I had to work hard to get you onto this base because y'all are security risk because I'm a convicted felon. Juan's got a felony. And we couldn't even get you on base. We had to get you approved and all this shit. And we were like, and so this is our first show here. And Juan goes, well, shit, this is going to be your farewell show after I'm done on stage. Man. It was. Juan went out there. And the base commander had his 16-year-old daughter with him watching the show. Oh, man. And Juan starts out with Panocha eating jokes. Oh, man. And the commander walked out with his daughter. And we were doing 2 shows. They almost stopped that show.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to let the second show go on after we were done. There was a big old pause.
Why? They didn't want y'all cussing or nothing?
They didn't want us cussing. Well, the commander had his daughter. And then one of the dudes stepped in. The commander left and put it on one of his subordinates and said, you make the call, and left. So if the shit went down, it was already going to fall on this dude. Yeah. This dude, you know what he said? If these fucking people are being trained to fucking maybe go to war and they can't handle a little bit of cussing, man, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Yeah. He said, we all do the show.
They're soft.
But they never called us to go back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've done that. We had to do one for a community college, George and I, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was for college students, but it was for the people that worked at the community college. And I'm up there, I'm like, talking about eating ass.
Oh, man.
And then I point to the guy, I was like, hey, man, don't blame me. He hired us. Yeah. So if you fire anybody, it's that dude.
That guy.
And I see George in the back freaking out, like, what the fuck? He's like, you walked the whole table. I was like, I walked 6 old ladies in the back. They didn't want to hear this shit.
Yeah, they weren't.
He was he gets in the car, he starts yelling at me, and we're never gonna be invited back. And I was like, Yeah, but do you want to do a community college show?
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it just to say I did it and get paid.
And what's the weirdest show or place that y'all ever did a
A
comedy?
VFW in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they put us on the dance floor and put these fucking plastic tables like the one I have outside in front right there, and
No
6
way.
people sat there and 3 people at the bar while the other comics played pool in the back.
How do you get inspired by that?
You
shit?
don't.
No, you
Be-
just
be-
survive it.
because
Yeah,
like
you it's a
sur-
story to tell about
you
later on a
survive
podcast.
it.
I've been again. I've done comedy, but I've done comedy to where I built the show and
Yeah.
I didn't have to do those little
Those caca shows.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't. I
Well,
didn't,
the caca shows are coming, bro. You're gonna
no,
go
I
right
know.
back.
No, I
Yeah.
know that.
Especially if you're doing clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. How do you,
Dude, I did. Let me
How
tell
do
you
you
this
do
one.
it?
It's a
I just
sickness.
did. I just did a show about 2 months ago in Bandera, Texas,
Yeah.
on a Saturday night at the Crazy Horse Saloon on a sheet of plywood in
Yeah.
a rock parking lot under a
man.
pop-up carport where the
Yeah.
fucking trucks were driving right up to the fucking microphone.
Yep.
Yeah, I did that for I think $100.
Yeah.
And I did it because there was no shows, and it was right after work. I
Yeah.
hauled ass work all day long, got off, hauled ass to Bandera, took an hour to get to this fucking shithole, and did it. And I just did it. I felt like it was an open mic, and I was gonna drink a couple of beers. I just wanted to go do a show and do something different, and I was like, I did not need to do this.
Yeah. We did a 4th of July because they paid us a nice amount of money for it.
Yeah.
Except I went up after the hot dog contest
Oh, man.
and
You had to go up behind.
and the beauty pageant.
And he stuffed some
so I
wieners in
go-
his mouth.
I won them all. I won the beauty pageant and the hot dog eating contest. So I go up, they introduce me. There's nobody can hear me because it's like it's outside. All these little companies
Jumping on
or-
hot dog.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sticking it in water. Sticking it
It's
in
like the stock show, you know what I mean? And so like
Dang.
they can't hear me. It's the middle of the summer, 98 degrees
And you
outside,
gotta
6
finish.
o'clock, and I gotta do my 5 minutes while
Those
the
are
band
horrible.
behind me
It tunes
does-
their
tunes
instruments.
their instruments.
Oh,
They cut off
wow.
my mic 2.5 minutes in, and they're like, "Hey, we cut that one off. Switch to this one." I said, "All right," and I went over there and I finished, and I go, "Well, that's been my allotted time. Thank you very much." And I left the
Wow.
stage, and I got paid my money. And then my friend Raul had to go up after a moment of silence for a veteran or somebody.
A family who had lost their kid, right?
Yeah, and then they had the brother of a
Ah.
guy I knew who passed away back in 2004. He got blown up in Iraq, and he goes up there and talks. They do a moment of silence. Then they go, "All right, we're gonna reset the speakers." And
No
they
way.
reset the speakers. 10 minutes, then gets brought up cold opening. "All right, we got a comedian here."
Oh.
And he goes up in front of 1,000 people in my hometown and
No way.
totally eats it. And he's just like, "All right." And then when he gets off stage, he takes off his hat, and he takes off his shirt because he had an undershirt. And he's like, "There we go. Nobody will recognize me." And we have it on video. It's like a little mini doc, like 7-8 minutes long.
Yeah,
but you
bro.
do those times. It's not because
It builds character.
well, it does, but it's not what we have. It's what we lack, and it's the ability to give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I
You
did
do
that.
give a
I don't
fuck.
care.
You do give. I mean, deep down, you're at home with a give a fuck
Yeah.
knot in your chest, but you got through it.
Yeah.
It's that bully that you faced walking home every day that you knew you was gonna fuck with you, and you might get him, he might get you,
That's what I mean.
but you're gonna go face it.
You don't give a fuck. You
Yeah.
know.
But you're
I'm
gonna go face him.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my ass whooped right
You're like,
now.
you could go the other way and go the other back. You're like, nah, we're
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
You know, we're going, and yeah, those horrible ones.
and it makes you
they're lurking.
it makes you appreciate the better ones.
So how many you think a week you should be hitting open mics?
well,
and
right
stuff?
right now it's hard.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's, you
I mean,
can't
before
get-
this, I was
you
getting
could
up.
hit 3 to 5 a month now if you're lucky.
Damn.
I was going up like 7-8 times a week before. And
Man.
now it's like 1 or 2.
And that's where
Yeah.
you try out your new stuff, your new material. New
Right
bits.
now, it's just shows. Like I just try stuff on shows. You got to
Yeah.
try stuff on shows now.
Yeah.
Man, okay.
Yeah, it's mostly shows that you're
Yeah, man. Y'all's opinion. Do you think I should shy away from doing with my crowd?
Why
Or-
would you?
Yeah, don't.
Why would you not
That's
want to
your
build your
crowd.
fan
Because I
base?
feel like that's. I mean, I don't-
Cheating?
Yeah.
So you think Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle, those are his fans? That's cheating?
So
That's their fans.
It either happens for you right away or it doesn't happen for a very long time. You don't get to choose. You just get to go in.
You just do what you do and see who keeps following you. You're not going to tell them, hey, don't come see my show. I got a show, bro, but don't come.
Yeah.
Because that's cheating. Y'all might laugh too much.
The harder part is the audience you have, are they trained for dirtier stuff already?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
well, so I mean, again, they've been with me through my transition, and that's why I talk about I used to be a hood rat. I'm a recovering hood rat, and I have a little bit that my before Christ. You should have seen me, and I go into all of that, but I make it funny, and I don't. I talk about the drugs. I talk about
what you used to do. You put it in that past tense.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Really, honestly, it sounds like the best way, since you have a base already, and like if you could put 100 people or 150 or 200 in a place, is that you should go and you're reinventing yourself. Is you should be the host. Go out there, work on 5, 10, 15 minutes up front. Bring in comedians
and work
in between work on a 5-minute and bring in the comedian that's already and then do work on it. And then you'll have when you're done, you'll have 10, 15 minutes of material that you've thrown some, kept some. You do it again, build up another 5,
like
10.
That.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
Host and then
bring your fans in and introduce them to you, your new style slowly and to your friends.
The show doesn't weigh on you.
It doesn't lag on you. And all the pressure's on you to fuck all my friends are here and I'm not a headliner.
Yeah. If you did a once a month show and you do a different 5 minutes every month because those are the 5 minutes you worked on all month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna still come back.
Man, I like that. Yeah, because I had some comedians that were like, oh man, that's I had to start over here and I did.
Who gives a fuck,
bro? I didn't take the regular route, bro. The first time I went on stage was a fucking open mic at Martha's because of a dare at the poker game. I did it, and then I went 9 months without ever going back. I bragged about it at the poker game.
He said, I did that.
Yeah, and then I went back and was like, why? And I did it one more time. I did the open mic again. The guy said, man, where you been practicing? And again, I was like, nowhere. He said, well, call this dude. He'll put you on stage. This dude threw me up on a little fucking show at Enchilada Warehouse on St. Mary Street that Cleto was on.
Yeah.
They gave me 5 minutes. And when I did that, Cleto called me like a little bit after that and said, hey, they're opening up the LOL, this club called the LOL, and we're having a contest. So basically my third or fourth time really on stage, I went out there to this contest and I advanced the first round. All of a sudden, like I advanced the first round and there was like 300 people out there.
And you wrote, or is it improv? Or
I wrote. No, what did I write? Shit?
Yeah.
I wrote topics. I didn't have. I did write topics and practiced them. But I had a set. I did have a set. And then, because it had to be clean, and it could only be 7 minutes, 5 to 7. And so it had to be clean, though. No cussing or they were going to boot you out. Yeah. Because Anthony Torino went out and he got all mad and he did that joke that, why is it girls put glitter on your, and have your cleavage all hanging out, and if I look at them, you're upset, but if I put my balls out, and I remember he used to do that, and Cleto said, well, that's dirty, you're out. And he got all mad. That's why Anthony doesn't like Cleto, I think. Yeah. Because he said that Cleto told him that joke was okay, and then he said, no, that he told me that he couldn't advance me because of that joke. And I don't know what this, but anyway, so I went in the next round, and I ended up winning third place and then in the next round, and then Vance Bradford was one of the judges, and he comes up to me and goes, man, you got something, bro. Can you go on the road? And I was like, when? He said, tomorrow.
Wow.
And I said, where? He said, to Midland. I was like, that's where I robbed the jewelry store.
He said, back to my
back to the fucking scene of the crime.
You trying to trick me?
Yeah. And he was like, he goes, do you know Juan Variales? He's a headliner. He'll be headlining. Can you do 15 minutes? And I had done, and what the thing was, in the contest, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
In the first round, I did one set. In the second round, I wrote a second set. Everyone did the same set in both rounds and made it. They did the exact same thing. And so people were like, dude, you're the only one that do 2 different things. I was like, I'm not supposed to. Like, what?
I ain't supposed
and
to
they
do
said,
that?
no, you write a set and you make it better. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Every time it was my first time doing it.
Yeah.
It was, it was like an open mic for me each time. And
that's scary, man.
So Juan, they took me with Juan. He was like, you got 15 minutes? I go, well, I did 2 7-minute sets, and he was like, yeah. So we drove to Midland. He goes, I'll pay you $150 a show to feature. So I did 2 shows with Juan a night in Midland and Odessa. And then Juan said, hey, man, I'm going to introduce you to Carlos. Carlos Mencia, he's my good friend. And so he introduced me to Carlos. We did the Delta Downs Casino, sold out, 1,700 people.
Wow. What does that sound like?
It sounds like I was throwing up, dude.
Man.
Dude, they were announcing my name. Carlos's nephew, Rivas, shout out to Rivas. Rivas was announcing me. And as he was announcing me, I was throwing up behind the curtain. And it was a big theater. And I'm wiping my mouth. And Carlos, Juan's mom, his sons, and the owner of the venue were all sitting, and it's parallel with the curtain.
Yeah.
So Rivas is right in front of the curtain, and I'm right behind it, throwing up, wiping my mouth, and they're all laughing at me right there. And it's my first time meeting all the rest of them. And I went out there, and I did good, and Carlos asked me to go on the tour bus with him.
Man.
And that's when people came backstage to take pictures with Carlos, and dudes would go, San Antonio, bro, because I talk about San Antonio.
Yeah.
Let me get a picture with you. You got to be in the picture. And I was like, oh, shit. And then when we went out to the casino and started gambling and stuff, people were like, hey, man, I don't mean to stop you, but can I get a picture with you, bro? And when you get a chance. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I went on the tour bus.
Man.
And I didn't do open mics like that. And some people kind of hated on me. They were like, look at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I never seen him at an open mic.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
And he's doing it. And I know I got that, but then I got to do the big shows.
Yeah, but those people aren't even doing stand-up anymore.
A lot of them aren't. Yeah. And I got to do big shows, and it was big shows. And I got known to just be doing the big shows. And now Carlos comes in, or when it's sold out, I'm there on these big shows. That's what know me. And then they don't see me again.
Yeah. And then I go.
And then I go.
What's the biggest
this dude does some big shows too. He did it. We did 1,000-seater in.
Yeah, I think that one, because the one I did for Eddie Griffin was not a. You figured, oh fucking, I want a competition to do a show, and I'm not getting paid for it to open for Eddie Griffin. I thought I was gonna host it.
Yeah.
But no, I went. There was a boy band at the McAllen Event Center. It's 1,500 people, and so the boy band goes up, gets off early. Then the host goes up, and he was just like, all right, y'all ready for Eddie Griffin? He was like, yeah. And people start coming from the concession stands, running back to their seats. It's like cafeteria seating. He was like, all right, well, before that, we got this local guy who won a competition.
Oh, man.
This loser.
Put your hands together for Josh Cabazo, just like that. And I come up to
No way.
Yeah, dude.
They were just all excited about.
And they start walking back to the concession stands, and the lights are on, like a cafeteria. All the lights are still on, and
And where was this at?
In McAllen Event
At
Center.
a theater?
McAllen Event Center.
Is how many?
The only theater I did was opening for this one. Every big show is like this.
Yeah.
I opened for Raymond Horta, and so they go out. The producer goes out. The lights are still on because people are still coming in. They're like, all right. Well, the promoter goes, I'm going to bring out your first comic. And I was like, he's going to bring out the first comic? And he's like, I'm going to bring out your first comic. Give it up for, and he looks at me, and I have a Spurs hat on. He goes, Spurs guy. And I was like,
oh, what a dick,
wow.
dude.
So I go out, and I was like, what's up? Well, I don't want to get sued by the Spurs. I am not the Spurs guy.
Yeah.
My name's
I'm the Coyote.
And people are still coming into the theater with the lights all on. And I'm just like, I'm going through my set. And
How do you gain control of that?
You don't.
Whenever
You don't.
well,
It just goes down.
Well, no. For me, the beginning was on both shows. The beginning was awful, but at the end, they're laughing
Because they're
my
too much
job.
movement.
My job is to let them know. All right,
It's starting.
it's starting. Here to go. Set up, punch. You're training the audience. I'm not gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna do crowd work because that's not for me to do. I'm not the headliner. So
Not the host either.
Yeah, I'm just showing. I know, right? I'm not even the host. I'm the guy that they put out before the fuck. But Raymond paid me, so thank you. But I was the guy they put out before the host.
Oh man.
And then the host would go up, so the host is warmed up, and I'm like, fuck.
Because the host fucks with the crowd, and yeah, he's got the easy job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've done a bunch of sold out shows at LOL, like 400 something. That feels fucking great.
Yeah, that's an awesome. Yeah, when that room's all the way back to the fucking wall.
Ooh, Tempe Improv. I did that one sold out.
Man, my boy, Polar Bear just did that one not too long ago.
I did a show with Polar Bear recently.
Yeah.
Me, Polar Bear, John Stringer.
Man,
And see, and you never know when people blow up, because Polar Bear was going on tour with Stringer.
Yeah.
And Polar Bear, I forgot, what was it? It was not New Braunfels, but I did the one, LaFar Books. I did that, and Polar Bear was featuring for me.
Wow.
And now the dude's headlining. And blew up on TikTok. So you never, he was cool too.
Yeah.
We're both cool. It was not like I was like, give me your number, we'll go hang out. But You know, you never know
who's gonna fucking hit
who's
some
gonna
success.
pop. You never know who's gonna pop.
Yeah. Man, and you know what's crazy is that when I was doing the virals and stuff like that, he seen my viral video, I seen his. We both reached out to each other and it was like, hey, let's do it. We did a skit, but it was just too dark. Like he was my friend and he sent a picture to his friend, some chick, and they were like, oh yeah, it's cute. But when they went to the restaurant, they saw that I had one leg. And she was like, you didn't tell me he had one leg. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. And he ended up walking with them inside the restaurant. I was like hopping away. And it was just, people were like, oh, that's messed up. So they were attacking him like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, they were like, oh, and he's like, no, this is his idea.
Yeah.
He wanted to do this. And they were like, that's messed up.
But also his what he puts out is very happy stuff.
Yeah.
So when you go really dark like that.
This was 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was about I don't even think he had his first million yet.
No.
He didn't even have his first million yet. And I had brought him down with me because I brought Nick and Dan.
Yeah.
The one that were, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, baby, we live.
Oh yeah.
Peter, Piper. Oh, so the skit that I got known for, it was Nick and Dan ride horses. Put that one on.
Right. Are we allowed to play it?
Yeah, you can. So this is a skit that I made up. This is my very first skit that I made up.
I remember you showed me this one. This one got like 3 million views.
Nah, this one got a lot.
Where were y'all at?
Some ranch. It was outside of San Antonio. So man, we literally made so I was working for Ice Lounge at this time, and these guys blew up. So they signed with Sean John. They were on Wildin' Out, MTV's Wildin' Out. I mean, they got their own show. He got his own show with The Game and Blueface Dollar on something or whatever. When they blew up, the guy that I was co-hosting with, his name was Play. He found them on social media, and when he found them, they had just like went viral. He booked them to come down and host the club. Well, they ended up getting signed with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
So P. Diddy so they called back and were like, look, we just got signed with P. Diddy. Like, if we're we signed a contract with them, and like, man, if y'all can push this back and you know, kind of wait, we'll come and do it later on. Man, that ended up working out for the club because they blew up even more. Like, I mean,
and they came back and did it.
Came back and did the show. The first one that
would they do stand up? They do stand up.
No, they're just
they do like
skits. Yeah, they just do viral skits. So they came back, bro, and I'm talking about the nightclub was crazy. Like, we did that skit, posted it on Facebook and stuff.
No, but what do they come and do in the club? They just show up.
They just come show up and party, drink.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And my job was to get them girls, to get them the alcohol, to show them around San Antonio and have a good time.
Yeah.
And man, those dudes were staying in my house, like celebrities, crazy. I mean, again, they do stuff with everybody, and I was again, bro. God has put me in a position all the time. I'm always at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
We posted that thing took off. Like, I don't know how many views that got. It got World Star. World Star picked it up. We had to sign contracts to let them put it on there.
Yeah. Did you monetize any of that?
No. That was all for that. That was under them. But that skit, I wrote that. Like, I was like, because I had already wanted to do skits, but I was like, man, I'm afraid. So there, again, I was just taking them around. They're like, hey, some lady invited us to a ranch to go ride horses. Like, come with us. I'm like, bet. So again, I was their chauffeur. I'm like, hey, let's go. So while I was there, I'm like, man, I want to do a skit. Like, I want to do a skit with these guys. And I was like, hey, why don't we do a skit? And they're like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I could pretend like I'm showing y'all how to ride horses. And man, we just put it together within like 2-3 minutes. And man, that thing took off. Like, the next day, my phone was just going off like crazy. And then just
because it was on your Instagram.
Well,
or your Facebook.
It was on theirs, but they tagged me.
Oh,
and when
okay.
when they tagged me, man, again,
how many followers do you have on?
I had over like 200,000, and I erased a lot of them. I took a lot of people off at that time when I was going through my whole walk with God. I was just like, man, I don't
distance yourself.
I don't want none of that. Like, I went chasing those likes, man. And if you've never been there where you're chasing the likes and you're chasing those views, man, it's an ugly place to be.
Yeah,
man.
bro. I'm not that dude.
No, I mean
Too old for that.
But it's just like chasing laughs. But it's this.
But I
I'm
get
chasing live laughs.
Yeah, because
I'm not chasing.
because there's an instant gratification right there. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, but
The likes are too to some
but-
people.
Yeah.
Exactly. For me, I was again. I was a promoter. I did
Yeah.
everything off of social media. So for me, social media was like I had to get crazier. You thought that was good? Watch this next one.
I've seen the
Watch
Dr.
this
Phil
next one.
episodes of kids like that, dude. That the kids are out of control, and he's
Man.
like, "Oh, I got so many million views, Owen, and I don't care, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get."
And see what I did with those was I turned that into money. Man, I sold T-shirts, and I don't even know how the hell I sold T-shirts.
Yeah,
Like
people love T-shirts.
what? I don't like. People were wearing my T-shirt, tagging me. Hey man, get that new Mike G shirt. Like
Shit,
I
you got to
was-
get back in it, dude.
I'm,
Get ready.
man, I'm going to.
Well,
This,
we'll do some shit, man. We definitely got to do some shit together. You know, brainstorm, do some brainstorming, and
Man, hey, I'm
shit.
ready.
We better get. It's already gonna be 1 a.m, huh?
No way.
Yeah.
it is.
Man, we've been here that long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
2.5
Well,
hours.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up, Mikey.
Hey.
It was good chopping it up with you,
Man,
man.
as
Good seeing
always.
it again, brother.
As always.
I'm glad you're fucking doing good and you
Hey.
changed your fucking life.
Hey,
Yeah.
This year, man, it's coming. Watch this year. We got to.
Corona 20.
Corona
Corona.
Corona 2.0.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on social media?
Right now, man, I just disconnected everything really. But
Facebook?
I still got Facebook at Mike Garza, and then at Instagram it's Mike_G comedy. And man, be on the lookout, man. We going. We're doing it this year.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Love you, bro. And we'll catch up later, man.
Love you
Peace
too,
out.
man. Peace. Man, that's awesome. Man, I didn't even seem like that long.